Protective style girlies. Before you decide to get this human hair crochet installation, you need to watch this video. So, this video is not so much about installing the human hair, it's about taking that crochet style down. Now, one of the things that I would say is very, very important is to make sure you get somebody to help you when it's time for you to take down that style. Let me explain. So, with the human hair crochet, it has, the human hair on one side and the human hair on the other, but the middle is actually held together by a thread. And the purpose of that thread is so that when your stylist installs the hair, the thread, instead of making that knot at the top, is designed to be seamless. So the hair looks like it's actually coming out of your own scalp. That is a beautiful thing. And those installations, they look really, really nice. But what most people don't tell you about is the takedown. So I'm Mrs. Debbie, also known as the PG County Embraider, and I provide a luxury service where I service beautiful women every day in PG County, Maryland, by coming to them and removing their protective style install. So one day, I happened to get a call from a young lady that said, "Hey, Mrs. Debbie, I need you to take down some crochet." So I was like, okay, no problems. Probably going to be like a 45-minute, maybe an hour job. Boy, was I wrong, because I showed up and that was my first experience taking down a human hair crochet install. So the client had already told me in advance that she wanted to keep her hair for the next installation, and that makes sense. You pay a lot of money for a human hair install, you definitely want to get your money's worth. So, keeping that in mind, I went ahead and I was just like, okay, just take it out the traditional way. So, I go to take it out from the root. Um, and what I find is by the time I take two of the hair pieces out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this just took 20 minutes. We're going to be here all night. I don't have time for this. And I don't think my client would have appreciated that too, because we're both thinking this is going to be a 45-minute job. The best way that I can explain to you what that experience was like is imagine regular thread. Maybe you are someone that installs sewings already, or maybe you're someone that is like a seamstress, you sew clothes together. So it's like taking a piece of thread and that thread is knotted and you having to unknot that thread. That's the perfect equivalent because that's exactly what was going on in her head. So I say that to say that I'm not really sure how you crochet human hair girlies are taking these styles out safely without cutting your human hair if you wanted to keep it. What I ended up doing was I actually had to find where, her braids started, the cornrows that were that the crochet hair was in. I had to find that braid and it took some digging. But once I found that braid, I said, you know what? Maybe once I find that braid and I start unbraiding, the hair will just come out with it. That's what I thought. But you also have to remember, again, the hair is basically bonded or tied together through a knot. So even with unbraiding her cornrows, the crochet install itself, it wasn't just coming out the way I thought it was, because also the client has natural hair. Her hair is natural, it's not perm. So it's not just going to come out because of the curl pattern that she has. So even with that, I still had to do a little bit of prying. And you can kind of see a video up there. I'll make sure I put it up. But I'm still kind of prying through her hair and in a way, finger combing and detangling with my fingers in a way where I'm protecting her own hair, but also keeping the install intact, keeping the crochet hair intact for the next installation. Y'all, altogether, it probably took a cool maybe 5 or 6 hours. And I'm just wondering, If it took me that long to take her hair out, how would it have been if she had to do that herself? So, for any of you girlies out there that are thinking about getting a crochet human hair install, make sure you are proactive and you think ahead of how you are going to take that down. Maybe it's hiring the stylist that installed it in the first place to take it down. Maybe it's hiring someone like yours truly. There are protective style specialists that can and would be willing to take down your hair for you. If you are going to be the one to do it, I caution you to make sure you are very, very careful because it's super easy to snap your hair by mistake or cut it during the takedown. So that's my little tidbit. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you would like to follow my journey of being a small business owner of this very niche business of taking down protective styles for clients, please follow my journey, like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to doing this with you. Bye.